And yes, rolling on video.
Rolling on audio.
We have excellent connection.
All right, guys, so we are live to YouTube, so connecting to Facebook.
Make sure
feel
you
free
share.
to go to YouTube and share that to Twitter, to your Twitter account or whatever. You know, instead of just sitting there and like, you know, letting all your talent just go to waste.
Oh, I've made a lifestyle out of letting my, you know.
you notice
my
I said
talents
talent?
go. Talent, whatever.
I
Yeah.
started to feel good hearing that from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, kind of like a blind leading the blind kind of thing.
Sure. At least I'm a leader. All right. Well,
At least I'm a leader. How do you know if you can't see?
yeah. Well, there's no one in front of me.
Nobody behind you either.
Yeah.
For all you know.
That's because I don't have any followers. That's not my problem. Is it?
We lost a follower. What's going on here?
Okay, what is it?
Mike, who'd you piss off in the comment section?
Hey, Cappy, we're going to have to talk about this, the heads thing, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does a thing. Here, I'm going to show you real quick. It, like, cuts the sides. and
I
tried
can
to crop
only
them out.
see the YouTube,
Oh, yeah,
YouTube
here.
thing.
Here it comes.
Oh.
Oh, damn it. So, see how it cuts off the sides with the black? That is not... I tried to crop that out. It does not do that. So I don't really know what to say in this case.
Yeah, I don't either.
But we'll just...
I can do it in post edit.
Okay. Well, I can do... Ooh.
Don't worry. Don't go through all that hassle, okay? That's definitely
No,
not.
hang on. This is like... This should be actually, like, permanent. Let me see. So look at this. Bingo. Hey. There we go.
Hey,
There we
hey.
go. Go. All right. Let's get this baby on the road. Let me get to Facebook now.
Hey. If you're joining us early, folks, make sure you head on over to Facebook at Glass Half Sports Talk, spelled like it sounds. Share with a friend. It's a community. It's a communal effort, right, Mike?
Be a friend, tell a friend.
That's right. We live on that over here.
This is a commune.
It's a little bit of a cult.
Mm-hmm.
No shame in that. Are we not live on Facebook yet?
We are not.
Oh, that would be why.
Well, hang on. I think it, just 1 second. I'm going to pull it down and put it back up because it's frozen yellow. That means nothing to you, but it is. You need to know. You deserve to know. What are the games coming up this week? Like, any fights? I feel like there's a fight this weekend.
There's no UFC until February.
Huh.
Like, not anything of
well,
note.
there was just one.
Not anything of note.
Okay.
Like, none of the champions really fight the first around the holidays, I guess.
I would love to actually, well, whatever, to, like, talk about Dana's thing.
Yeah, him
Watch that
slapping
video
his
finally,
wife.
And it's like, boy, it's hard to believe that that's the first time that's happened. Boy, is that really hard.
Yeah.
It's like the first one I saw it, I'm like, she hit him.
Yeah.
Man, she hit him first. Like, yeah. And then it's just, I don't know. It gets that when I saw the later one where he kept going and then none of the men there jumped into, it's like, because they know to stay away when that happens. All right. So finally now Facebook's reconfigured. So hopefully this will
I got it
pop
up.
right through.
Yep.
You got it up. It shouldn't be.
Oh. I don't know what I'm
So
clicking
check
on
that
there.
because that might be the one that I had to pull down.
All right, let me refresh.
I got it.
We're still not up.
We have a
You
problem.
guys are tripping me out, yeah. Or I'm tripping myself. There we go. Okay, so now it shows itself as being up.
Mike just shared a stream.
It
That
does
was
say
the-
1229.
That was the old one, yeah. I think it like reinvigorated that one basically.
Oh, yeah, it says we're live twice here, but I'm sure it'll fix itself.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, we can go to the account and pull it. But okie dokie pokey Loki. Hey everybody who might be joining us. Great show today. I can feel it in my bones.
Yippee!
And if anyone's just joining us, I'd like you to know that I have been getting laid for the first time in 15 months. I'm just throwing that out there.
Months? Gabe, years.
15 months.
Years.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to.
He has kids that are like 5 years old.
Yeah, I can't have my kids like watch that and think I'm not having sex. Thank you, Mike.
That's not why I said it, but you're welcome.
Oh. Really?
I was just trying to do the math.
think of
It
any
couldn't
other
have
reason
been
you'd say
15
that.
years since the stork came.
I'm still convinced that Mike has never had sex, but now that he has a kid, it just shakes my belief in everything that's good.
Doesn't mean it's his kid. Let's stay open, okay? All right. and
We're here for
I'm
you, Mike.
connecting the chat here.
Too far? Still in silence. All right, we struck a nerve.
And, gentlemen, the show belongs to you.
Well, thank you, Gabe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of Glass Half Sports. I hope you guys enjoyed the last time that you're going to be hearing that intro music. Because moving forward in 2023, we are going to rebrand our sound a little bit pre-show. Mike, are you excited or sad to see our original intro music go by the wayside?
I think it's a sign that I'm getting old because some part of me just kind of likes the the things the way they are.
You are like, every time we come into the studio, Mike becomes a little bit more Gabe.
Yep.
Just it
Thank you.
as time, which is
Thank
good
you,
for you
Gabe. Thank
because
you.
Gabe is living his best life back there. So, as always,
Not back here.
Oh,
At my
no.
apartment.
at your apartment,
Yeah.
out in the streets, running things. Glad to have you all with us. As always, I'm one half of your hosting duties, Nick Huffman, as always, joined by my ever so faithful co-host, Mike Mensing. How was the last week, buddy? Coming out of the holidays, are you excited to get into 2023 here?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. It's been busy. It's been a good start to the year, I guess. Let's keep it going here.
What was your New Year's resolution for 2023? I think we should share this at the top of the show.
What was my New Year's resolution
Yeah.
for 2023? I did not make one.
Really?
Did not make one.
Your New Year's resolution was to make less New Year's resolutions.
And I've so far followed through with it.
Good for you. Proud of you. My New Year's resolution was to be a little bit nicer to Mike on the air.
Oh, you've already failed at that one. So, all right, moving on. Guys, if you want to find us on social media, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, and Patreon,
Where else? Twitch.
and Twitch. We do have a Twitch. I don't know if we have any videos on Twitch.
Nope,
You'll have to
absolutely
go
not.
check it out. And then post-show, we can be found on MCN6, which is local cable here in Minneapolis and St. Paul. If you're outside of our local area, you can find MCN6 through your Roku app.
Yeah, through the MCN app on your Roku stick.
Yeah, that.
There you go. What do we got
Again,
for
I'm becoming Gabe, so
There we
the
go, yeah.
technology of
right?
things
Just
like
hard. There was like a Morse code machine in here earlier today. I thought you and Gabe were texting back and forth last night. But what do we have for the folks today?
that. Yeah, it is a big show today. We have our Vikings view touching base on a loss to the Packers this past weekend, our Wild Wolf Watch with a new guest,
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions for a few athletes around the nation, and then our NFL playoff picture. We're going to finish it off with an NBA trade deadline segment.
Yeah, we haven't checked in on B-ball in a little bit, but I know we're 30 days away already from the NBA trade deadline, so things are starting to heat up. Some names have been floated. Some players have come out and said that they're unhappy. I think it'll be good for us to take a look at all of the options that the Minnesota Timberwolves have to get out from this despicable situation that they've placed themselves in.
I don't know if... yeah, we'll talk about it later. With that, let's talk about something despicable.
Yeah, let's talk about something despicable.
The Minnesota Vikings traveled to Green Bay this past weekend. I'm not sure if they showed up for the game, but I hear that they're coming back. I don't know where they were on Sunday. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, all season long, I have sat on this show, and I have kept a pretty positive tempo going about the Minnesota Vikings. Have I not?
Yeah,
I've been very optimistic about this team.
You've had very purple shaded glasses this year, yes.
But one of my biggest pet peeves in life in general, Mike, is just situationally being unaware. Like the guy who shows up to the airport with, shoes that are hard to tie, and a belt and a coat and earrings and necklaces, and just slows everybody down when going through airport security, right? Everybody kind of stands at the back of the line. You're like, why?
Sounds like a cool guy, though, with all that gear on.
Maybe. But the Vikings were exactly that this last week. Not only did they have the opportunity to roast a team that me and you saw them take care of handedly in week 1. Not only did Justin Jefferson and Jair Alexander have beef going on Twitter all week, so you think, okay, let's involve our superstar in the game early, and get that matchup going, because sometimes it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes, right?
I have heard that before, yeah.
That's right. They, not only that, had the opportunity to eliminate the Packers, who were awful weeks 1 through like 12 this year, and like take their playoff chances away. That's a rival that you now don't have to worry about facing in the playoffs. And to put the cherry on top of all of it, you watch the Eagles lose yet another game, putting you right back in contention for that first round bye in the NFC to make up for that egregious performance that you had on week 3, and you came out flat as can be. I was appalled at that alone. Like, all year, the one thing that I've been able to hang my hat on with the Vikings is when it counts, when it's important enough, they show up. But they did not do that this week, and that's why they got absolutely embarrassed.
The important parts of the game are the entire 60 minutes.
Ugh.
Sorry, I have been saying that all year, and this was another red flag game for me, showing me that they are not that good. We are a 9-10 win football team that has gotten lucky a few times and is sitting at number 3 now in the NFC.
And they've, and in my opinion, they've officially tarnished or burned the bridge that they had to having an easier road to the Super Bowl than they would have had previously. 2 home games or a home game indoors with this team is very much different than us having to go to Philly or to San Francisco, or, you know, and play
rather
outdoors.
Play the Giants, though, than the Packers, especially after something like
that. I totally agree with you. But we've seen all year, this team is a little pretty. Your team takes on the personality of your head coach.
So you would rather play the Packers?
No.
Okay, so it is almost a good thing that we dropped down to 3.
Yes. Yep. But here's what I'll say. What I don't want is, even if we then manage to beat the Packers, or if we manage to beat the Giants indoors and then we have to travel to an outdoor team in cold weather, your team takes on the personality of your head coach, right? And Kevin O'Connell, admittedly, is a California kid. He's a little finesse.
But more than likely, if we beat the Giants, it will be a matchup with the Niners in round 2.
And how did it go the last time Kirk Cousins squared up against that defense?
Well, not great, but it's
not even close to great.
San Francisco, not outside in Philadelphia, which is a little bit different.
Which would be what, the NFC Championship game?
If we
how
get
well
there.
How well did this team perform last time we had to march into Philly with Kirk?
I'm sorry, but are we truly worrying about the Philly matchup in the NFC Championship game when last year we didn't make the playoffs?
No.
Again, let's temper our expectations here a little bit. This is probably a 10-win team that's gotten lucky. It's been a great season. Let's continue to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we get a win in Week 18 moving into the playoffs, into our matchup against the Giants.
Maybe. And now I will say, the silver lining to all of this is the Vikings have found a way all season long to not stack bad appearances, right? Like, they go out and they get embarrassed in Philly, they rebound the next week. They go out and they get embarrassed against Dallas, they come back on short rest against the top 10 defense, and they take care of New England. Like, they have
the scores to Detroit. Lose by 2 scores to Detroit.
Exactly.
So
right. So it's unlikely that you're going to see them underperform again this week against the Bears. But I need to see something from the coaching staff, because what I saw on Sunday, outside of like just bad bounces, right? 2 of Kirk Cousins' interceptions are balls that hung in the air longer than some of Ryan Wright's punts. Like, that's just bad luck. But the coaches, to me, need to better implement a game plan with a little bit more simplicity. Like, the JJ thing is a perfect example to me. There's no reason why your first play of the game shouldn't have been, one of those inside tunnel screens to JJ because you knew they were going to be man up on Jair Alexander. Let him get some momentum going, make Jair Alexander think, and then play that matchup. There's no reason why you shouldn't have been playing games to isolate Zadarius Smith against guys that he practiced against for the last 4 years on defense and allow him to affect Aaron Rodgers like he did in week 1. We did none of that. And that's what I was disappointed in.
Yeah, it's almost like they kept it vanilla because they felt like they had it in the bag at times.
Well, but I hope it doesn't come back and bite them in the ass.
I truly think that we have Week 18 in the bag, especially considering the Chicago Bears' one weapon that they really have and that I respect is not going to be playing for them. Justin Fields is out this week.
Okay.
So,
I've never heard anyone say we have this in the bag with less confidence.
Yeah.
I think we have this in the bag.
I think we do. We should, in theory, but it's the Vikings. Right?
It's like leaving. It's
That's
like leaving
right?
the. It's like leaving the McDonald's drive-through during breakfast and going, "Man, I really hope my hash brown is in there," knowing they probably gave it to somebody else.
That was a perfect analogy, actually, and I'm dead serious.
We're a much better team than Chicago, but it's in Chicago. It's always a weird place, tough place for us to play. I don't know, man. I think we should win by 2 scores, but I've been waiting for us to dominate a team all year.
Yeah. What do you do with the starters if you're coaching the Minnesota Vikings this week?
Play them.
Yeah, you earn your right off the field this week if you're a starter based on your performance last week, especially a guy like Justin Jefferson who's going to have to play outdoors.
This
who
should be
is
a
your
game
number
that
one
we
weapon.
are up 28-7 at half.
Yep.
And you can go, all right, Kirk, now you're done.
Yep. Sure.
Like, that's what it should be.
But you're going to have to earn it, and the offensive line can't get a break.
Right.
Like, they can't. They have to play all 4 quarters now. Chris Reed, by the way, looked atrocious.
Well, he is a third-string center for a mediocre offensive line, interior offensive line.
And we're now missing the entire right side of our offensive line, pretty much. Brian O'Neill is going to be down multiple weeks. Garrett Bradbury hasn't been back, and Ed Ingram is a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
So does it worry me that we're going to get squared up against Kayvon Thibodeau likely in week 1 of the playoffs with them knowing, oh, yeah, look at this abysmal right side of the offensive line that they're playing against? Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. I mean, they got Dexter Lawrence, too. That's not going to be easy for the Vikings to get past. So they're going to have to find some continuity quickly.
Yeah, rumor has it Chris Reed had a really good practice yesterday and was really locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Called him a consummate professional, so hope he plays well.
We can hope,
I'm going
right?
to guess, I am going to be optimistic. I'll guess 34-14 final Vikes.
Dylan Gelzo says the Vikes played down to their level of play. Mike's been saying that all week or all season. That's who the Vikings are any given Sunday. And I will go. We struggle to score outside in Chicago notoriously. Our run game seems to get stuffed up, which limits our passing attack. We're probably not going to see some of our veterans. JJ might get some extra rest. Adam Thielen probably not going to be massively involved in the offense either to make sure that he's ready for the playoff run. I'm going 24-13 Vikings.
Awesome. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments, and hopefully we finish the year with another win.
I got a question, guys. What do you? Is there a scenario where KOC where this is not a successful year for them? If they lose this week and then lose out of first round of playoffs,
Absolutely.
How do you feel about that?
It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Sure. So where would you be at with that? I mean, this has been really shaky, right? This ending, and it's like it feels like it's so weird because it was like, honestly, I think 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, I said I might have to just back off everything I said and say they just feel like a team of destiny with the coming back, and now it's just completely erased.
Well, and that's the thing is, has it been shaky just the past couple weeks?
Has been shaky all season.
Right. Yeah.
The one thing that I will say, the Vikings are in better position than, I'm going to go ahead and say 95% of NFL organizations with a first-year head coach. Yeah. First-year head coaches that especially ones that don't have any prior experience, they struggle. They oftentimes they struggle. They miss the playoffs. You'll see bad clock management. I mean, heck, Nathaniel Hackett's already canned, right?
But on the other side of the coin, we're also probably going to match up with Brian Dable. in the first round.
Well,
So
another first-year head coach. But
it's kind of
And
a split.
also, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, you're good.
Also, we've got, when you look at our long-term, whatever, health, I mean, we got our number 1 draft pick, Lewis Cine, like waiting in the wings. He hasn't even contributed yet. That's going to be great. Right?
The
Yeah.
one
How are we-
thing that can, and this can snowball. I will paint you a hypothetical hit the panic button scenario here, which is the Vikings lose to the Bears. They come into the playoffs. They get stomped out. They go into the offseason. They try to continue with this competitive rebuild, right, in which we have a lot of aging veterans on defense and a lot of expensive veterans on offense, and we don't draft well for a second year in a row. And this draft class from this year, which is Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth, don't really ever get their footing. And if they get off to a slow start at the beginning of next season, it really does start to raise a ton of questions. Because right now, I heard Tom Pelissero talking about this earlier this week. You look at Jared Goff. Right now, system-wise, Jared Goff has more gas than Kirk Cousins does in that Lions offense. Justin Fields has more gas as he'll get more weapons in that Bears offense than Kirk does. And who knows what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. If he gets healthy and they retool, the Vikings are going to find themselves right back in the middle of that dogfight. They got to get it right. They have to. They got to show that they're a place that top stars that might be leaving teams or top prospects or whatever would want to come play. They got to prove that in this system.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's just stepping up and making plays when it need.
When your best is required, right?
Red zone early in the game on the road against your rival, you got to punch it in
After
for
a block
touchdown
punt.
and not kick a field goal.
Yeah,
right? So.
absolutely.
Wild Wolf Watch. So, Nick, the Minnesota Wild came off a victory last night, 5-1 against Tampa.
Yeah. Kirill lights the lamp twice.
Yeah, looking good lately.
Understatement of the century.
And we do have somebody joining us today to talk about the Wild as well.
Yeah, Dilly Bar's in the back rejoining us this week. What's up, Dill?
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Wild have been impressive. Winners of 8 of the last 10 games. Taking down Dallas handedly. Gustafson playing well. Kirill seems to be greasing the wheels. And we've even recalled some youth from the Iowa Wild that hasn't seemed to affect our level of play lately. What do you think the difference has been from early in the season to now?
Line cohesion.
Just time, right?
Well, that and, Dean's been switching up lines occasionally. Players on different lines, whether first, second, third, plus obviously adding Revo, which we spoke about.
Yep.
But I think getting solid lineups and keeping them healthy.
Health has been a big thing. We were very banged up at the beginning, more than I thought I had realized, more than I had definitely realized to
Greenway
start
was
the year.
out for how long?
Right.
And we didn't have the grief line or whatever they called it for almost, a month or something like that? And so if you get those guys back out banging, busting heads, it's a completely different game changer.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Me and you had talked at length. I don't want to look too far into the future here, but we had talked at length about the decision to take the cap penalties for the 10-year contracts that we needed to get rid of, and what was that going to look like as we started to, support Kirill through what are going to be our down years in cap. The Wild also had 5 prospects that were selected to, the 2023 Junior World Championship. So there's more help on the way for a team that is already very, very young and sitting in, third place, 3 points behind Winnipeg in the standings?
And we beat Daly, who's number 1.
Yeah.
So, we definitely have a competitive team this year.
Yeah.
We are 6 points behind Dallas, but they also have 3 more games played. So.
Yeah. And not only that, Gustafson, the guy's showing up. I'll give him credit.
I mean, our youth in general has shown up.
But, you do that 50-50 thing with the goalie sometimes, or, spot starts and,
Gustafson's goals against average is 2.25 right now, and Fleury's is 2.8. So
And, yeah.
he's playing way better.
And what do we say? 2.5 seems to be the magic number for the Wild. On any given night, Kirill, Zuccarello, and another player can put the puck in the net. Can we hold other teams to under 2.5? Right? Do you think this is sustainable? And if so, do you think the Wild still feel they need to make a move as we approach the deadline here, Dylan?
Honestly, I don't think they need to make a move with anybody.
Okay.
I think we're actually really good where we're at. Honestly.
Hold the fort, I guess.
Hold the line.
Hold!
Yeah, it's basically as long as your youth can continue to play above their level, right?
Or grow into their potential, I think, is a better way to look at that, right? Because when you're such a young team and you see these, like the physical 5-2 win that they had against St. Louis, where Greenway, who is your muscle in the middle pretty much, where he puts the puck in twice, like that's his potential.
Right.
Can he consistently find that as his water line, right? Can we raise the floor on some of these guys, I think is what's going to be important.
All righty.
What do we got coming up for games for the Wild here, Mikey?
Saturday. Saturday is our next game. We're in Buffalo.
Yes. Saturday against Buffalo. Thursday in New York. And then we have St. Louis again on Sunday. How do you think they're going to fare coming out of this stretch as a very hot team right now?
It's basically whether or not we can keep it up, right? I'll say 2-1 over those few.
Yeah, I had it as 2-1 as well. Ooh, Nick, Minnesota is not one and done. Tim Jackson believes the Vikings are going to win a playoff game.
He must not have watched the Lions game a couple weeks ago.
Tim, are you feeling okay? Dylan says that's debatable. See, this is the kind of heckling that we like in our comment section. But I think they're going to be 2-1 as well. A win against Buffalo, another win against St. Louis. I think that's important just for physicality's sake, to every time you line up against kind of like a slobber knocker style team that you go out and just win it physically. Yeah. And then probably a loss to New York, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Really like slobber knocker.
Thank you.
Here. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on to the Minnesota Timber Pups.
Yeah, they're still sucking.
All right. Well,
No, whimper, Gabe. Whimper if you're going to howl.
they're on back-to-back impressive wins, actually. 124-111 over Denver, who leads the West, and then 113-106 over Portland.
After trailing most of that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not how you start.
Nope, it's how you finish.
But still, just not consistently playing good basketball, right?
No. And you know what I think? I've paid closer attention. And I've tried my best, zero in, and try to figure out what's wrong with the Wolves. And I have said for weeks now, Anthony Edwards, who Gabe thinks we can't win with, is the difference maker in the Wolves locker room. Would you like to know what the two consistent things are over our last 2 wins versus our last 2 losses?
Ant's points.
Yeah. Ant with over 25 field goal attempts, and D'Lo with 5 or more assists, and then caveat that with McDaniels then being involved in the offense. When his usage rate creeps up above 20%, the Timberwolves are winning basketball games. The 2 that we lost since we were there last week, D'Lo's field goal attempts, way up. McDaniels' usage, way down. D'Lo's assists, way down. The 2 stars that got us to the playoffs last year are our current biggest problem. Cat and D'Lo cannot be the center or focal points or leaders of that locker room. It's costing us ball games. There's nothing else to it other than that. It's got to be Ant's team. It's Ant and Jaden's team.
Tim Jackson agrees with you. Build around Ant.
He's a smart guy. I knew he'd think that from the jump. Get rid of Cat. See, I mean, smart. What do you think the issue is?
Yeah, it is. I disagree with everybody on this. That I do think it's possible to play with 2 bigs in that modern NBA.
It's not.
But you have to dictate the pace,
Which we can't do because our bigs don't move.
well.
It's different
It's
if
still
you're
possible with bigs that are like one of the bigs is pretty quick. Cat's pretty quick for a big. You know a lot of bigs that are 7 feet that run faster than him.
Yeah, John Collins.
Okay, that's one. Know a lot of them.
No.
Okay, didn't think so. But it's in the style of play.
Yeah.
It's taking control of the game, and the Wolves don't do that because of their youth.
They don't.
Like there's a way to slow down your offense and to be efficient on the offensive end and to make the most of your baskets that slows the pace of the game. It limits fast breaks for the other team because you're taking good quality shots. They're going through instead of rebounds, right? There's a way to dictate the pace of the
pace of play.
Pace of play.
Yeah.
The Wolves don't do that. If you have two bigs, you have to do that. So there has to be something that gives. They either have to start dictating the pace of play or get rid of the two big system.
And like I said, did you ever text Blake about the triangle with the Wolves and his opinion on that? He's kind of like our basketball aficionado. The Lakers were that way for years with Shaq and a bigger stretch four. Not a whole lot of fast break points, not a whole lot of open court, but controlled the offensive end in half court situation. The Clippers play that way.
The biggest thing you really need in that triangle offense, though, that the Wolves don't have is a pure shooter like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan.
Seems to me like Ant can do that.
Ant is a great
25
attacker of the
points a
basket.
game.
He's not going to make his money shooting jumpers from the elbow.
No, but he can also stretch the floor and shoot the three. He's probably more efficient. I'm not going to say he's more efficient at it than Kobe, because Kobe probably could have done more of it if he wanted to.
He's just not consistent enough to build your offense around him shooting the basketball.
Yeah. Yet, right? I mean, the stretch of games that he is on is impressive. He hasn't had a game below 30 points, I think, in the last week and a half.
I'm not saying that his game isn't impressive. His game just isn't that.
Right. Yet.
Why change it, though? Why not build around what his game is, which is attacking the basket or being able to hoist a three? He is the modern NBA. He's either going to dunk on you or hit a three in your face. There's not much of an in-between.
But what made DeMar DeRozan a potential MVP candidate last year?
Being able to hit from mid.
What makes Kawhi Leonard a potential MVP candidate when he's on the floor?
He can be an MVP candidate the way he plays, though, Nick.
But it limits his game.
It doesn't really.
It does, because right now with two guys standing in the paint, your opportunities to get in there for those dunks, those and ones, to get the other team in foul trouble is much, much more difficult.
All I'm saying is you don't change your star player's style of play. You change your roster around your star player.
I would agree with you, and Tim Jackson does too. Tim Jackson says pace comes down to your point guard, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later.
We don't have one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. D'Lo is the problem.
Yeah, we don't.
And a lot of it.
Well, let us know what you guys think about the Wolves and their prospects moving forward. Gabe's little howl there. That's a timber pup howl right there. Games moving forward, it looks like we have the Clippers tomorrow. That's a tough matchup.
Yep.
On Sunday, we face the Houston Rockets, which should be a win, but we lost them earlier in the year.
And then we just lost to the Pistons not that long ago,
and
like
the Pistons
last week.
Again on Wednesday.
So I've got them as 2-1. Obviously, take the game from the Rockets, take the game from the Pistons, and it better be close in LA.
Get blown out by 30. I don't care. Win the other two.
Yeah. I want it to be close.
A loss is a loss.
You got to walk
like a
in.
Win is a win.
But that's not true. You have.
Oh, it's not true.
You have the opportunity
like how you
to
play
learn.
matters.
You have the opportunity to learn from your losses.
So how you play matters,
Yeah,
and like you should play your best, and you should play well over 4 quarters, and you should be consistent. And it doesn't.
You mean for 4 quarters, like
That's
football?
what I said. Yeah.
Oh.
Or basketball.
Yeah.
'Cause there's 4 quarters
In
of basketball.
basketball,
too, Who brought up football?
You did.
Got him.
I didn't say football at all.
Game shut.
Shot dead.
Clip that. Burn. All right, moving on. New Year's resolutions. We are going to alternate with what these athletes and or coaches want for the new year.
Yeah. So we got some Minnesota local ones first, right? We got a New Year's revolutionize.
Oh, Jesus.
Some of our local athletes. Gabe's going to toss some faces up on screen here, and I think our resident quarterback actually has a Minnesota quarterback with a resolution. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. The first one that we are going to take care of is Kirk Cousins and his New Year's resolution.
What is your New Year's resolution here, Kirk?
Well, my New Year's resolution for the new year is I really want to get an offensive line around me and to be able to throw slant passes without being tackled.
Yeah. Nothing else. You're not going to buy. There's no grills in your New Year's resolution.
No grills. I just want an offensive line, please.
Can you do the because since we have you live, can you Kirko chains for me real quick? Fair enough.
Can you
Fair
say
enough.
you like that at least
Yeah.
for us? With
You like
with some
that?
energy?
You like that?
You like that?
I think he did it stronger.
It's a little
yeah.
nasally.
Yeah.
Bye, Kirk.
Bye,
Hope
Kirk.
you get an offensive line.
Bye, Kirk.
All right.
I have somebody that we were just talking about, Anthony Edwards.
Oh, okay. We're going that way. Gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely. So I have Anthony Edwards, obviously third-year guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and my New Year's resolution for Anthony Edwards.
Oh, wait. Gotta hit pause.
Are we comfortable with this one in terms of a? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I can shrink down if you need me to. My New Year's resolution is get Cat and D'Lo off my goddamn team, please, and maybe find me some talent that I can win with. Because right now this organization is doing me absolutely zero favors, and I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted. I would like to get back to the playoffs. That was gonna be my New Year's resolution until we traded for Rudy Gobert, clogged the lane, and continued to lean into a shoot-first, selfish-ass point guard.
Question: do you intend to stand still during any plays for the rest of the year, or?
Much like Randy Moss, I'll be here when you need me, or when I want. I'll play when I want to play.
Okay. Thank you for answering the question.
You're welcome. That's what I got for my New Year's resolution. Who you got next, Mikey?
All righty. Our next one up is going to be the great one, the GOAT, Tom Brady.
Ooh.
Let's see what he wants for New Year's.
I can't believe that we got Tom in studio.
It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy, right? It's kind of weird that you wound up with a bunch of quarterbacks.
It's shocking.
It's almost like it was pre-planned.
All right, Gabe, go ahead and put his face over mine whenever you're ready.
That was another
How's-
good one.
How is the new girlfriend, by the way?
We don't talk about that. It's professional.
Oh, okay.
It's business-like in here.
enough.
What I really need is a running back that rushes for more than 20 yards in a game.
What about Playoff Lenny? You love Playoff Lenny.
Playoff Lenny has 637 yards on the season. I'm only 8 yards behind him.
Career?
I need a running back. I have over 4,000 yards passing this year. I have a decent defense. I need a running back, please. So if there's a running back out there, maybe a cashier or a grocery cart retriever at Walmart, we can do a.
What about this guy back here, Tom?
Yeah, we'll take him.
You take AP right now?
He can live down the hall from me at the nursing home. All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye. On to Cincinnati, right?
Always. Oh, is that?
That's our commish
Oh, okay.
for fantasy. Matheson.
Matheson, Michael.
There we
All
go.
right.
I have somebody that we're very familiar with.
Oh,
on
you got to
this
get
show.
into this one.
I am
You're a big fan of this guy, so you got to.
Jim Polat. I should just.
No, that's not who I got.
Who do you have?
I have Sugar
Sean. We can go with Sugar Sean. A little O'Malley action.
Who does Gabe
I
have?
was gonna say you guys are killing me back
Who do you
here.
got,
No,
Gabe?
we're good.
We're good. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Well, listen, my goal or New Year's resolution in 2023 is going to be to take the strap off that pussy Aljamain Sterling.
Oh dang! I thought
Wow,
it
that
was
was-
I legitimately thought, looking at you coming into the studio, Sugar Sean, that it was going to be to work more kids' birthday parties. But
I
all
thought it
right,
was a
Are you
sex
making fun of my
thing.
hair?
It's a
I
sex-
will two-piece you right now.
I mean, then my nose would be as red as yours. But yeah, go ahead.
Fair enough. No, my goal is to take the strap off Aljo. Obviously, he's just kind of sitting on his hands because he's terrified to get in the ring with a real fighter. And, just start setting pay-per-view records and, become the man that Dana wants me to be, which is Connor's replacement.
Anything else to add? One more thing? No.
No,
Good?
the division's
Prognosis
All
mine.
right.
on those
Well,
arms.
hey everybody, Krusty the Clown, who will be fighting for the UFC belt this year.
You should have done that the whole time, dude. That's awesome. And taking off your shirt.
All
I'm
right.
not taking off my shirt. You kidding me?
So next one, it looks like I get to keep my same name.
Oh, yeah?
We're gonna pivot over to Mike Trout.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mike, buddy, first of all, are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
The body seems to be an issue. Are you going to be able to get back on the field for any considerable
Well,
amount of time?
I mean, I will say this: the back is a little sore from carrying my team all these years.
Oh, you've been carrying Shohei. Is that what you're saying?
Well, Shohei and I,
No.
the back got a little help the past couple of years.
Nice.
But it's just been me and him. I don't even know if we have a second baseman. The ball just kind of seems to dribble through.
Yeah. You don't have much of a pitching staff either.
No. I think we threw a pitching machine out there one game last year.
So what is your like, do you have New Year's resolutions, Mike?
It'd be really cool to look around the clubhouse and see like actual other people in there other than Shohei and those cardboard cutouts they used in Denver during the COVID year. It'd be cool to get a full team in here that could help us out.
Are you happy in LA?
LA is nice. It's weird playing professional baseball with one teammate though.
I hear you need to have 9 of them.
Yeah.
Are you going to pitch?
I have in the past just because we've needed me to. Really don't want to.
Fair enough.
My back's already sore.
Would you leave?
I'd leave.
Yeah.
I hear other teams play with 9.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who should be traded
that'd be
between
fun.
him and Shohei?
Yeah, who do you think is more deserving of a chance to prosper elsewhere, you or Shohei Ohtani?
Who wants to and
I've
who
suffered
is?
longer, so he can stay and carry the Angels for a little bit longer.
I mean, the good news is you could call Kawhi and figure out how to be the best player on the second best team in your sport in LA.
No, I told Kawhi a joke once, and his laugh really scared me. I don't talk to him anymore.
Fair. I wish I had Kawhi's laugh on the soundboard right now. All right, well, there you go. Yeah, hey, Shohei showed up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, next one.
Yeah, I've got who is next because I don't have the
Conor
actual
McGregor.
I have no clue. So you
Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Dylan, would you like to give the people your Conor impression?
Do you really want me to?
No, absolutely.
Who the fuck is this guy?
It's pretty good.
Perfect. Oh man, look at that beard. Yeah, my goal in my resolution for 2023 was to return, after burying my steroid allegations to 170 pounds and make the world believe that I could win a world title so I could make more money. And maybe if I'm lucky, fight more than twice.
Who are you targeting to fight?
I heard that you had a pay-per-view with Randy Marsh from South Park in July. Is that true?
No comment at the current moment. My target is the entire division.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're going to clean a house.
Yeah, I'm the champ. So all these bums like Leon and Kamara and Gilbert Burns, it's different when you get hit by my left hand. I might be a little older,
Does
but I'm
anyone
just as
deserve to be
strong.
in the ring with you?
I got to be honest with you, Connor. Sitting right next to you, I'm not scared of you at all, and I don't think you have another win in you.
Yeah, Connor, it's
Gotta
hard
be
to
honest.
conceive.
What's up with all the disrespect that I hear you giving to Dana's top dogs?
I'm just
Shut
being
your
totally
mouth.
honest. I don't think you have another career win in you unless you fight a pay-per-view against the
KSI?
milk delivery guy.
You know what?
Just being honest, I think you are washed and you are only around for the paycheck.
Red Panty Night still exists, motherfucker.
That's fine.
True. Just
So-
happened at my house last night.
Yeah.
So good luck with your New Year's resolution.
I'm going to clean house in 2023.
That's fine.
Who do you got next, Mike?
I have KOC next.
Oh, Mr. O'Connell, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How was your first season as coach?
It's been.
I don't care. In 2023, how the fuck are you going to fix the Vikings? Because right now it doesn't look good.
Well, first of all, that was rude. Secondly, my New Year's resolution will take care of the Minnesota Vikings in 2023. All I want for 2023 is a defensive coordinator.
You hand chose Ed Donatel.
Yeah, that was my choice.
Oh, so you're already blaming Kwesi.
I didn't say.
Jeez, there
Quincy's
ain't
name at
nothing.
all.
There ain't nothing like history repeating itself, huh? You go from
I didn't
Rick
say-
Spielman and Mike Zimmer that don't agree to you
I
and
didn't say
KOC.
Quincy's name at all. I would just like a defensive coordinator that doesn't have to leave in the third quarter because it's his bedtime.
Do you have anybody in mind?
Ooh, to be honest,
Coach Prime?
Nope. He's at the bottom of my list, actually. There's about 30 coaches, 50 feet of crap, and then at the bottom, Coach Prime. You got to put the feelers out there. I want somebody who's going to come in and run schemes that are a little bit untraditional, can maybe keep the young quarterbacks in my division on their toes because I don't trust Justin Fields or Jared Goff or Jordan Love or whoever's coming up for the Packers, and I really want something that doesn't look like cover 2 and then drops into cover 2, or something that looks like cover 4 and drops into cover 4 and gives them 8 yards per play. So, yeah, maybe we'll look elsewhere other than the retirement home this year for defense coordinators, but that's what I want for New Year's, is a new DC.
A DC. So
What about that Lewis Cine, though? Got
how about
excited
Lewis
your
Cine?
pick there, right?
And Andrew Booth. Those were your guys. You put your stamp on them.
Yeah, they're young. They're promising. They'll continue to work and make their way into the lineup here sooner or later. But it's the scheme that's really not fitting this team moving forward.
So I mean, is Coach Speak 101 a class I can take online? Because that was a master class in that right there.
That really
you guys, thanks for having me, and have a great rest of your 2023.
But Lewis Cine, is that your pick, or was it Kwesi? Like, I mean, who?
Guys, I got to go. I don't have any time for questions, but have a good one.
Thank you.
Where's my guy for time for 2 more?
Time for 2 more?
Yeah.
I think it's so weird that hasn't been in media much.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, if they, who was the second round pick?
Andrew Booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it was Booth was the second. Okay.
Yep. Our top 2 picks have played a total of, I think, less than 100 snaps.
To be honest, though, like if you look at it, Ed Ingram, Brian Asamoah, there are other rookies in other spots that are playing well in time. So
if those
here's
picks
the thing
delivered,
too, you can't rate a draft class after one season.
True, but
you can, but
you
like
get an indication though.
But injuries don't really give you an indication, right? We have no idea what Lewis Cine.
Yeah, but when healthy, neither one of them was good enough to get on the field.
As rookies, that's not uncommon.
Okay.
Jeez, Mike, sorry. Hit a sore spot there.
Yeah, good.
Well,
what do we got next? Who do we got next?
On rookies in the NFL for not being starters immediately.
No, Reagan on the GM.
Carl Mr. Polad.
Oh yeah.
Next.
Gabe, do you have any interest in being Mr. Polad?
Ooh, that'd be good.
No. Well, I guess I don't know what. No, I'm sorry. Just because I'm trying to do this.
No, I know. I got you. I'll take it. Because I do have a New Year's resolution. And first of all, I'm glad to be back on the show. I'm here every week, so glad to be back.
Are you okay, like, financially? Can we borrow you some money or whatever?
I am fantastic financially, Gabe. What are you talking about?
Well, I just know that Twins are on a tight budget.
Well, you just offered a contract to the hot dog vendor outside the stadium, so we're just curious, like...
He throws an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. That's AAA level talent. He might get some MLB starts this year.
It's true. Good value.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're just curious because there's other guys out there that you could pay a little bit more that could throw even faster.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's harder to hit a ball when it travels faster.
Oh, we're taking the opposite. I honestly feel like I am my generation's Billy Beane. Everybody else wants to go with the hard-throwing bullpen, pay a lot of money. I would like to pay absolutely nobody and watch them throw really slow so that way it's a change of pace between what they're seeing all over the rest of the MLB.
Okay. So
my New Year's resolution for 2023 was not just to spend no more money on free agents. It was to spend no more money on Twins baseball at all.
Wow. That's incredible.
Okay.
So, because you can make the money off the TV rights.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Bally Sports is the greatest decision I ever made.
What is your plan, just like your strategy to get youth into baseball? Is really hard to decipher, but are you guys doing like one of those things where
are you trying
it's so
to like
hard to
team
find
up
it
with
that everyone
Nickelodeon
wants it extra?
Sorry, too many questions at once here.
Go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm just like the strategy. Like it's very hard to find the games. Are you trying to create some sort of demand through like less is more? Like
no. Why would I want people? If I allow people to openly watch how bad my team is, my fandom will go down the drain, and then I won't be able to charge you idiots, you fans, $60 a pop for mid-level tickets and $14 for the light beer that you drink that I water down. In the process.
Have you ever thought of investing in the players and then actually charging more money for tickets?
I invested in Byron Buxton, and it was the worst decision I ever made. So I'm done investing in Twins players.
Fair enough. I heard Nick from Glass Half Sports endorse that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
You gotta, and actually to answer that question properly, when you said, does he ever think of raising prices or investing in players raising prices? it's all he thinks about every single day is how to raise prices.
Yeah.
It seems like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
All right, Mike.
crazy.
All right.
Getting to the end here.
Next up, we have LeBron James.
No.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. He's in studio.
And who's
Wow. Hey, the all-time points leader now.
I've got to be 2 goats today.
Two. What did you just call LeBron?
Goat. He's a goat.
oh my gosh, Mike, we're on the air.
Yeah. Good Lord. All right.
There's more than one goat.
How do you feel now that you're the all-time leading point getter in NBA history?
Yeah, it's cool. This season only matters for accolades, so I don't really care about anything else.
Are you really just hanging on until Bronny shows up now?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get to the NBA though, so I've been looking at going over and playing in Taiwan with Dwight and bringing Bronny over there.
I thought you were just going to head down to the G League and then.
Yeah, whatever works. I mean, we're looking at, the Lifetime by my house says they got an open rec league we could both play in too.
Yep.
I just want to play with my son, so we got to find a spot.
There we go. What's your New Year's resolution for 2023 there, Brown?
I hear there's a record for points on Wednesdays that are at the end of the month that have referees with blue eyes, so I want to go for that record next.
Nice.
But I don't care if my team wins or loses.
Oh, okay. How has your relationship with Russ been lately?
The guy who passes me the ball sometimes?
Yep, him?
Yeah, he's okay. He can't shoot very well, so I don't pass him the ball.
Really? You don't pass?
Yeah.
That's
not to him. He
oh.
can't shoot.
Can
But
anybody
he
besides
passes
you
me the
shoot?
ball sometimes.
Can anybody besides you shoot?
No, not as good as me.
Okay.
Could you, before we go, comment on a social justice issue?
Yeah.
I haven't read about any on Twitter lately to regurgitate to you folks, so unfortunately I got nothing off the top of my head that I truly care about.
Okay.
Do you care about anything outside of what I can only assume or imagine? Space Jam was just like you getting to put LeBron's internal universe in cinematic form. Do you care about anything outside of that LeBron verse?
Space Jam was making sure that everybody forgot about who Michael Jordan was.
And did it work?
In my mind.
I've got a question. When I saw you in Las Vegas, I think it was your second year in the NBA, you were walking with your entourage. I know you wouldn't remember me.
I remember you, Gabe Noah.
Oh, thank you. I did have a good performance that night at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. But anyway, why were you'd pretend to dribble a basketball as you were walking? Is that because you didn't think people already knew that you're LeBron walking with a crowd of people? You were trying to sell that further? I've always wondered that.
Well, see, what you didn't see, Gabe, was the glasses that I had on at the time were a new piece of VR reality, and I was actually dribbling a basketball, but you couldn't see it.
I see. Because it looked like, really fucking ridiculous. Like, because we all knew you're LeBron, you had a big crowd of people, and then you're pretending to dribble.
Hey, sometimes you got to look ridiculous to be the best.
That's true. No, I'm sure.
You have definitely been the best ridiculous athlete of our generation.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You can keep that.
Got a little extra bass in your voice this week.
Jesus.
Well, I'm 6'9", so. All right. Who's next?
I think there's only
There's
2 or
3
3
left. 3 left. Yep. You got Francis Ngannou.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Don't.
No, you're right.
Don't.
I thought more of it.
I know we're pushing it already.
I want to hit the man with the uppercut.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I mean, speak softly and carry a big fucking stick, right? Bingo. God, it's a terrifying individual. I am a terrifying individual.
Hi, Francis. How you doing?
Hello. Good.
Good. Nice to have your cheerful self here in the studio. Just curious what your New Year's resolution is.
I plan to squeeze every penny out of Dana prior to the John Jones fight.
Okay. Have you ever thought of just going like the Conor McGregor path and just fighting like Betty White for money or something like that?
Well, no.
Okay. Just something to think about.
Have you ever-
I don't think much. I just punch.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about promoting your fights or like saying things to make people want to watch them?
Why?
Are you okay? Are you, because it seems like you versus Gain or Gone, whatever, Cyril.
Yes.
It seemed like that should have been a big fight, and I think it was the box office was quite poor? I mean, does it make you kind of rethink your strategy? Do you think this is working well, the you and Dana thing?
No. That's why I want more money.
What could you change to get yourself more money? Could you punch harder?
No.
Okay. So nothing in your power that you can change to get more money.
I could be heavier.
You could be heavier.
I'm working on it.
Okay. That's good.
What's your prediction for you and John Jones?
He scares me. That's why I haven't signed my contract.
He scares you?
I haven't signed my contract because he terrifies me. That guy kills people.
Okay.
Do you think that you could fare better against Dana White's wife than Dana White did?
I believe I'm not allowed to comment on that situation. She is an amazing woman.
I don't know. Your strategy with him so far is worked so well. I'm surprised you didn't actually take that bait. But thank you for your.
All right. Well, Francis Ngannou, everybody. The light of the studio has just left.
Goodbye.
All right. Up next, we have Kyler Murray, quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals.
Just get real little there, Mike.
All right.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
We could probably. Yeah. I was gonna say it's.
We only got Gabe's so fried. He's like, these segments suck.
No, I think it's been fun. It's just it's hard.
It's hard to keep up for sure.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey everyone, it's Kyler Murray. Hey Kyler.
Hey Kyler, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for throwing the phone book on the chair. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't make many of them anymore, but we'll do whatever we can for
I'm
you.
surprised you found 3 of them.
Yeah.
Hey Kyler, I didn't realize till right now you have a white rich girl's name, Kyler.
I do actually. I heard that a lot at the white suburban school that I went to high school at.
Oh yeah, you've been in the spotlight pretty much your whole career, all the way dating back to like QB1, the TV show, right?
Yeah, they thought I was a freshman, but I was really a junior. I was just really small.
Nice.
Hey, there we go. Nick, you look good in black.
Oh,
Thanks, Tim.
You do look good in black.
Tim Jackson, who I'd like to point out is a black man. So.
Oh, I thought he meant his shirt color.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, didn't have to be about race, Gabe. Jesus. So Kyler, as you, I guess, recover from an atrociously bad season and now a knee injury, what is your New Year's resolution for 2023?
Oh, this knee injury has been great. I think I should get hurt more often. I just get to stay at home and play COD all day, every day. It's been awesome. You
Very
guys
nice.
should try it.
COD?
Just video games. I wake up and I even have somebody at my house that like helps me go to the bathroom, and then I get to lay in bed and just play COD. And they even bring me food. It's awesome. Have you done that before?
I have not.
You should try it.
Maybe I will. So when you play COD, since very evidently you are not interested in football like at all, in your free time, is it just like juice boxes and animal crackers, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I play football to pay for the snacks and stuff.
Right.
It's not as fun as COD.
Fair enough.
But the one bad thing about the animal crackers is my fingers get sticky, and then I have to wash my hands before I play COD.
That's fair. How do you feel about Cliff Kingsbury? Are we allowed to ask about that right now?
He's sometimes mean to me, but he's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah.
You guys don't seem to get along very well.
Yeah, he's sometimes mean to me.
Okay, so when he's mean to you, is that normally because the way that he has to communicate with you is by joining your Xbox party to talk about the week's game plan, or?
Yeah, but week 5, I figured out that I can just appear offline, and now he can't join my parties anymore.
And that's why you guys have been so bad since,
I haven't talked to him in a month and a half.
Oh, nice. You must have picked that up from Mike Zimmer.
Who?
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, little man. Take care.
Bye. All right, up next, Nick has one last one. It's Lamar Jackson joining us in studio.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing the thing again. Hold on.
It's all good. I was
but I will get there.
sitting there watching Mike like this the entire. If you're not watching this, Mike was like hunched over, hiding behind his microphone to imitate the fact that if Kyler Murray in real life jumped up, he'd probably hit his head on the bottom of Mike's butt cheeks. Was
Actually, didn't
hysterical.
realize he had that white name. Like, that is really the whitest name that
Oh,
you
super.
even have. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he went to school with a lot of Tanners and Bryces.
I was thinking Tanners, Taylors.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that.
Skyler, Kyler.
Big trust. Woo woo.
All right, Lamar Jackson joins us. Lamar, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I hear that you really want a new contract. Is that your New Year's resolution?
When it gets done, it gets done.
Okay. Do you want it to be in Baltimore?
No, to be quite honest.
You don't. Where do you want to go?
Man, I'm a Florida boy. I'm trying to go back to the great state of Florida and bring my city a championship.
So you want to go to Miami?
Two is a bum, so
Would you go to Tampa?
I'd like Mike Evans is pretty talented.
Yeah. Would you fit in with that offensive scheme?
Aaron,
Are you a true quarterback in the NFL?
It's been what I've been about since day one. I came in. I didn't run at the combine for a reason. You know, I'm a quarterback. I'm not a guy who runs, who throws the football.
Your target share to tight ends and running backs is higher than normal quarterbacks. Would you be able to succeed with 3 to 4 receivers on the field at a time?
Yeah, you ever watch Louisville tape?
I have, but that was college, which is quite different. You can ask
Pro-style
Ryan
system.
Leaf about that. You can ask
Pro-style
Teddy
system.
Bridgewater about that. You can ask
That's pro style system, boss.
Jimmy Clausen. It's a little
That's-
different, right?
that's
Tim
pro-style,
Tebow succeeded in college.
Sure. Tim Tebow's a bum too.
Okay.
He ain't run like me.
He didn't run like you.
No.
Exactly my point. So can you sit in the pocket and throw to 4 receivers downfield?
If I had 4 receivers I could throw to.
Okay, so it's a personnel problem in Baltimore. It's not a scheme. It's not a you problem.
No.
Okay.
Is there
It's-
a possible landing spot that you'd like to go?
Miami, you said.
Miami?
I'd
Oh,
like to
okay,
go
I'm
home to
sorry.
Florida. It's
Yeah.
warm down there. It's cold up here in Baltimore.
Do you play video games?
Not really.
Oh.
When you do you play with Kyler?
I
No.
was going to say, I was thinking.
Did you see the
Why would I play with somebody who's slower than me?
If you saw the 6-year-old kid leaving the studio, that was actually Kyler Murray.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably bumped into him, but
Yeah, no, I just I wanna win a playoff game this year, secure the fattest bag with no agent in NFL history, so I get to keep all the money myself and then bring a championship to the state of Florida.
but Miami specifically.
I mean-
not Jacksonville, not Tampa Bay,
The state of Florida.
the state of Florida.
State of Florida.
So are you going to find a new NFL team like the Florida something?
The Florida Lamars.
The Florida
Big
Lamars.
trust. Woo woo.
I hear Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani are available if you want to maybe, start a football team of 3 guys.
I hear they're on the Los Angeles Nobodies.
Yeah.
Is this move because of how the Ravens handled the contract, or were you kind of wanting to go no matter what?
I mean, if they wanted me, if they wanted to, they would, right? Like they'd have paid me already. I got an MVP and a playoff win. They played Joe Flacco like real early.
Yeah, Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl in his
A
career.
fluky Super Bowl.
A Flacco Super Bowl.
A fluky Super
Do
Bowl.
you need to be the
That's how it's
highest
pronounced.
paid quarterback in the NFL?
No, I don't need to be. I
Are you
want
the
to be.
best quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, we all play different.
Yeah, you play like a running back, dog.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I play the system that I'm placed in.
So Lamar Jackson wanting to get paid top QB money and try to become an NFL pocket passer.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
you're welcome.
Good luck.
Don't need it.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think about our New Year's resolution segment, and if we missed anybody, hopefully you got a laugh or 2 out of that.
Yeah, let's talk about the NFL playoff picture.
Let's do it.
Ooh, look at this.
Huh?
This is my favorite hallway in the whole
What?
building.
What? Oh, hi guys.
Hey.
All right. So NFL playoff picture.
Yeah.
We have some matchup graphics too. We'll give Gabe a second here.
Gabe's gonna catch a hand cramp back there.
Okay. So the NFL, yes.
Yeah, the NFL playoff bracket. So we got 2 games that really matter for seeding, both one in the NFC, one in the AFC. The first of which is going to be the Packers versus the Lions. The next one, which is going to be the Jaguars versus the Titans. Let's start with that NFC North matchup, Mike. The Vikings made sure that this game actually mattered.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am going to pick the Lions, though.
Oh.
Jared Goff has 15 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his last 4 or 5 games.
Wow.
He is playing insane. Rodgers actually played pretty poorly against the Vikings, in my opinion.
Correct.
Only 159 yards passing. If not for the special teams and the blunders on our offense, I don't think the Packers' offense is anything to be that worried about. I think the Lions' offense is actually better than the Packers' defense. I'm going to go Lions here. And, man, would that be awesome.
Rodgers, now, while I think that Aaron Rodgers' best performance of the year was actually not performance related, it was the air guitar in the Minnesota game that he decided
It was bass. He was
whatever he wanted. That was his performance of the year. He hasn't really played great quarterback this year, but it is him. It is Week 18. It is a playoff game. It is in Lambeau.
Lions.
I'm gonna take the Packers in a slim one.
You don't think Mel Gibson and Braveheart coming off the edge is going to be able to get to Aaron Rodgers?
They're getting, the unfortunate truth is the Packers are getting healthy at the right time. Like Bakhtiari, in and out all season, inconsistent, hadn't really played in a year and a half.
Got put on skates like twice by DJ Wanham. Come on.
I'm just saying,
Aiden Hutchinson's going to eat him up?
As they get healthier, they are more dangerous. They are still like one of the best teams in the NFL in the month of December. I think their January record probably pretty good as well. I'm going to take the Packers in a 31-17 win over the Lions.
No faith in Matthew Stafford.
Well, let's
Jared Goff.
Woo! Nice, Mike.
What a Freudian slip.
Yep, there you go. How about let's talk about this Titans-Jags game? Because me and you at the beginning of the season actually said Titans may not win or may not make the playoffs. And here they are with a chance to fall right out of it.
For parity's sake and for the career of Trevor Lawrence, I want to see the Jaguars win here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And
shockingly, I've become a Doug Peterson fan.
Oh! I mean, Jacksonville's got all the tools. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. Now, let me ask you, Mike. When the Jags weren't a real good team last year in Week 18, what happened? What did the Jaguars manage to accomplish? Do you remember?
Ending the career of Urban Meyer?
That, but they also managed to have a game at home against the league's top running back with a really good defense and a really solid head coach, and they built the Colts. They beat the Colts in the last game of the year and kept them out of the playoffs last year. This is a very, very similar scenario,
it is,
structure-wise, and the big difference this year is Doug Peterson, Travis Etienne, and Trevor Lawrence being more effective on offense.
The Jaguars' defense is pretty solid still, so yeah.
Right, well, that defense is the defense that bottled up MVP caliber Jonathan Taylor last year. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give this one to the Jaguars, and I don't think it's a convincing win, but I think if you watch it, the game will not look like the score. The score is probably going to be closer than it should be, but you'll look at the game and go, yeah, the Jaguars really had control of that from start to finish.
Sure. I respect that.
So I got the Jags getting in, and the Titans missing the playoffs, which means, is it time to blow it up and start over in Tennessee?
No, you just need a consistent quarterback, and whether or not that's Malik Willis needs to be answered.
Yep. And he can't judge rookies off year one.
I hate it here. AFC East fights for the final spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's down to the Patriots and the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, like I said, all year long, with how fragile Tua is and how this team wanted to run their system, are going to risk missing the playoffs. Do you think they squeeze in and salvage the season? Because much like we just talked about with Kevin O'Connell, is this season a failure if the Vikings, lose their last week, get into the playoffs, and get bounced? If McDaniels comes in, Tyreek has this great year, Jalen Waddle has a great year, but all of this stuff with Tua, and they don't make the playoffs in a year where the Patriots are in absolute disarray, is it a failure? Yes.
You have a first-year head coach, though, so, I don't know.
How would it be a failure for Kevin O'Connell and not be a failure for Mike McDaniels, who has a better roster?
I don't agree that that's a better roster.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
From top to bottom, I don't.
Okay.
I think they have higher potential players. I'd probably rather have Tyreek and Jalen Waddle than our two.
I'd take their entire defensive secondary over anybody we have other than Harrison Smith.
Yeah, but they're still young. And I don't know. I mean, I think the odds of the Dolphins getting into are much higher than the Patriots.
Okay.
Patriots have the Bills. I think the Bills beat them.
Do the Bills play their starters?
Yes, because I don't think seeding's locked up in the AFC.
It is not.
So,
It's a jumble.
yeah, and I don't know. I think they have to, especially with the weird stuff that happened on Monday.
Correct. By the way, thoughts and prayers to that entire situation, to both locker rooms. Terrifying to see. Glad to see that he is
heartbreaking to see, honestly. And we got news before the show that he is responsive.
Yeah.
So that's good. He's still getting better. So prayers out to DeMar Hamlin and
Yes.
the Buffalo Bills community.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I honestly think the Bills beat the Patriots, and I think the Dolphins beat the Jets. So I think the Dolphins sneak in. Jets have lost 5 straight, or otherwise we'd be talking about the Jets right now.
Well, if they had Mike White.
Isn't that shocking that we're talking about? If the Jets had Mike White, they'd be in a better spot.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's in trouble. In trouble. Yeah.
I'm going to go Dolphins get the second spot, though.
Part of me just thinks because it's Bill Belichick, because the Dolphins are going to dolphin, it's going to be the Patriots.
Okay.
Really, I don't trust, because who are the Dolphins going to march out there this week at quarterback?
All you need to do is hit a tunnel screen to the fastest guy in the entire NFL and let him take it.
I mean, yeah.
And they have a decent running game, decent defense. I don't know. I think they'll be okay. I really do.
Potentially. But let us know what you guys think as the playoff picture wraps up for all 32 NFL teams. Actually, not all 32 of them are in the race, but if your team is in it, we'd love to hear what your opinions are on how far they are going to go. And we can talk about the NBA trade deadline, which is coming up in our next segment here. I just wanted to go through a couple of names that I was reading a Bleacher Report article earlier this week. They were putting out the rumors, the guys that have been lofted or floated out there. Starting off with John Collins.
Yeah, so it was an article written by Andy Bailey.
Yep.
The article is up on the screen.
Yes, it is.
The player every NBA team needs to trade in 2023. We are going to highlight just a few of them. The first one we are going to highlight, like you said, is John Collins. So where do you see John Collins moving, and for what, possibly?
I think for his situation, he needs to be looking for a team that needs that run the floor stretch four. Like, he's not great away from the basket as like a 3-point shooter or a mid-range guy, but defensively and in transition, pace of play, he's a really talented 4. You can even play him at the 3 if you're going to play somebody like Milwaukee, right? And you're going to have to square up against like a Chris Middleton or somebody of that nature. I think Charlotte, having him play with LaMelo would be a good place for him to go. They lack interior push. PJ Washington really hasn't panned out. Phoenix would be another great place where I could see him go. I know that they're trying to move off Jay Crowder as they try to get back into the Western Conference Finals. And then Dallas. I think Dallas, that kind of tempo and an outlet guy for Luka to use with his awkward pace of play would be good places for him to land. Do you have any others outside of that?
No, I agree, actually, with pretty much all of those.
Cha-ching!
Next up, we're going to highlight Miles Turner, who's currently with the Indiana Pacers.
Hey, Minnesota, pay attention. This is the guy that, like, if you want to do a too big system, this is the type of guy you want in your locker room.
Right.
Instead of him being the number 1 scorer on your team, he can be the most efficient 3rd scorer on your team. Just a couple of stats. As a big guy that plays center and forward, he shoots 40% from 3, still manages to average 2.2 blocks per game, and does this and scores 16 points per game with a usage rate just below 20%. That is the definition of effective scoring, and you can give him a lot of minutes because he's never in foul trouble. I think, Gabe has asked me multiple times, hey, if you're the Wolves, who do you go get? This is one guy that I'm looking at squarely. And I think you said Cat's quick. How many 7-foot guys can get up and down the floor? Miles Turner can get up and down the floor.
Yeah, so honestly, like, if we did something like this, would Gobert be leaving as a part of the deal?
Cat would be leaving. That would be...
So why wouldn't we keep the 2 faster ones, though?
Because you're still going to need Gobert to rebound and play... you're still going to need Gobert to rebound and play the pick and roll game.
But he hasn't been rebounding or playing defense very well lately. So it's like...
It's a solid point. It's a solid point. Like,
hey, man, we brought you in to rebound. Can you start
rebounding, please?
It'd be awesome. We're like 30 games into the season.
Yeah, no, Turner can rebound, right? It does help. I just think scheme-wise, the way that the Wolves should be playing, you talked about it, build into the strengths of guys like McDaniels and Ant. Miles Turner is a better fit for those guys than Cat is, if that makes sense.
All right.
Right?
Well, from one problem in the Wolves locker room to the other.
Oh, you mean D'Lo?
D'Lo.
Obviously, if he's leaving, it's likely because Cat left, or they're going together. That's just my honest opinion. It was D'Lo's whole reason for showing up in Minnesota in the first place was to play with Cat. So I think they're kind of tied at the hip. But his style of play is not suited to be the third or fourth option on your offense. He is, without like the explosive dunking ability, he's a lot like Russell Westbrook. He needs to drive and kick and be able to pull up, and the pick and roll needs to run through him, and he needs to be able to selfishly play unselfish basketball.
To be honest, I would really like to see us move D'Lo and Cat in a big blockbuster move that brings in maybe some youth, maybe some draft picks to go back on the sheet from the Gobert trade.
Yep.
My anticipation going into the season was we should be a top 4, if not 5 seed.
Be lucky if we make the playoffs.
Exactly. So clearly it's not working. And unless you're going to freaking fire Finch, who I honestly think is the problem.
Could be.
I really do.
Could be.
Lack of effort is not a player issue. It's a coach issue.
Potential landing spots? Potential. Do you see teams that could use him? I've got a couple in mind.
To be honest, if D'Lo leaves by himself, he's going to go to like some bottom feeder that we're going to get a veteran from and picks, a la Patrick Beverly, somebody that can come in and say, all right, this is how you fucking win in the NBA.
I think
there's my one F-bomb.
I think San Antonio.
Okay, so what I said.
San Antonio to get picks. Dallas, though, it makes sense for him to go play with Luka. They both like that half court. When you need it, when they're locking Luka up with double teams. I
just don't see it working super well because they both work on ball way better.
True, but they had that with Brunson last year, and Dallas played pretty well in the playoffs.
Brunson also has a ridiculous catch and shoot gene in him, so I don't
know. The Wizards, Bradley, there's another name on this list that very evidently wants to leave the situation that he's in. I think sending him to Washington would be a good fit. You could get players back in return. Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, both guys that are on the block. Otherwise, sending him to Chicago for a guy like, even though he's hurt right now, Lonzo Ball. We're going to be able to run the floor, going to be able to be a distributor first, and play great defense on the perimeter. So I think one of those 4 spots is where I would be looking to unload
that's honestly
D'Lo.
what we need is a true
point guard.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd.
Shit, give me Patty Mills in his prime.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't need anything special at the point. We just need someone who runs the point.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal is next. Where do you see him ending up?
I would love to see him with the Wolves. You talk about a guy with ridiculous catch and shoot ability. If you're going to get rid of a big, right, like Cat, and you're going to allow Ant to start driving the lane consistently again, and you're going to need an option to where you kick to the corner 3 or you kick to the top of the key, and even if it gets closed out on, has the ability to create his own shot, Bradley Beal is that guy. He has a supermax contract. Cat has a supermax contract. You want to talk about leveling the books? There's your trade there if you wanted to do the blockbuster thing. Could you do D'Lo and Cat for Kuzma and Beal and be a better team as the Minnesota Timberwolves? You absolutely could. So I think this is a great fit for him here. Otherwise, teams like the Lakers, LeBron James always likes to have a catch and shoot guy. The Blazers, to pair him with Dame, is a good spot for him to go. And then once again, Dallas. Luka needs a second guy.
Dallas
right?
Would be a really good fit.
But I think, if you're looking at, hey, where does Beal fit the best? How can he get back on track? It's
Dallas.
Minnesota and Dallas.
I'm going to go Dallas even over us. I just think that gets him, that puts them in the ring talk.
Oh, absolutely it does.
Last and not least, Jay Crowder.
Weird to see him want out of Phoenix because of the situation that they're in, right? The way that this looks to me now, right? If we go back to when DeAndre Ayton was having all of his issues with the Suns coaching staff and front office in the offseason, if you take that and then you get to where they're at now, does it not look like it was Crowder or Ayton? Like you were going to just have to pick one and you weren't ever really going to get both. So So I think he fits in really well. I mean, Jay Crowder's such a talented guy as a role player. Like, he's going to eat up a lot of minutes. He could be the sixth man of the year potentially if you really wanted him to.
Jay Crowder is the dude, like, you always hear the conversation, like, these NFL players are great athletes. If they weren't out here, they'd be playing.
Yep.
Like, that's what they'd look like.
Yeah.
Jay Crowder's a freaking outside linebacker that, like, can rebound and pass the ball.
And shoot the rock. Like, he's pretty
Sometimes,
consistent.
yeah, but he just doesn't do it often, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, averaging pretty much 10 points a game for his career, but
all of his points are loud.
yeah,
They're
and he's
loud
a
as
hustle
fuck.
player.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
So I think I think Portland would be a great spot for him alongside Dame. Provide Dame some defensive
That would bring
stability.
some energy to the West Coast for sure.
Absolutely. I think him in Memphis to replace what they lost with Kyle Anderson in the offseason is a great fit. He's ring chasing at this point. You saw him go from Miami, Jimmy Butler's successful team, then Phoenix successful team. I think he's in that part of his career. So sending him to Memphis would be good. And then once again, Dallas, man. Dallas is one piece away. If there is a buyer at the deadline, it's got to be the Mavericks.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know how he would fit, but you want a defensive presence that walks into the locker room and lights up the locker room immediately for a young team that doesn't have a leader?
Jay Crowder.
Like, think about him on the Wolves.
Yeah. I mean, there's another stretch forward.
It's tough not to hustle when your teammate is diving out of bounds for balls.
Exactly.
And that's what he brings.
That's what made Russ's.
I've always been a huge fan of Jay Crowder.
That's what made Russ's teams so good for such a long time.
Right.
Even if he was the only player,
Right.
he was getting everything out of everybody else.
Well, it's just, dude, like if your literal teammate is diving and bleeding and just going all out, it's kind of tough to just stand there and do what Ant does on offense where he just stands in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It gets a little awkward. It's like, hey, man, you going to help me at all?
Yeah, for sure.
And Jay Crowder brings that. So I think whoever gets him will be pretty happy.
Very nice. I don't think there was anybody in that list. Is there any other names that you wanted to take a peek at? I know you're not massive into the association. This list has obviously somebody for everybody.
I'm curious to see if the Lakers like blow up at all. Being out of playoff contention currently, LeBron is basically their pseudo GM.
Russ is on this list.
Does he do anything?
Russ is on this list as the guy to move. For the Lakers.
LeBron said he can't shoot earlier on the show, so
That's
maybe
very
he
true.
wants to get rid of him.
Does LeBron realize though that if the season ended today, your sixth man of the year is who? Russell Westbrook.
I think LeBron wants the top 5 on his team to be better than anybody else's top 5, and he could care less who comes off the bench.
Well, then he shouldn't have grabbed Terrence Ross. Some of these names, man.
That's the striking thing about the NBA, dude. Is
Fournier, Evan
you
Fournier
have such
too.
a difference between
Devontae
the top
Graham.
10 and the bottom 10.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
I went to a
huge.
Timberwolves game like 2014 when the Wolves won like 14 games that year.
Gabe
How
paused
about
because this is a
dude?
white guy.
Yeah. Well, no. I was wanting to
Grayson
see.
Allen.
I just
This
saw
fuck.
a highlight of him just being a goon with someone, and
Oh, he's been like
the
that since he was at
announcement, they
Duke.
lit
Oh,
him
yeah.
up. Yeah.
No,
it was-
he's literally been like a
He's a pain in
super
the ass.
dirty player since
Oh, yeah.
he was in college.
Does
Oh,
he
yeah.
have the skill level to actually is he an NBA starter on most teams?
He's a really good sub
Yeah.
on
Okay.
most teams.
Yeah.
He's a top 7 on most teams for sure.
He can get hot.
Yeah,
He's a
I
really
just
good
hated
shooter.
him just from
No.
the highlight I saw.
He's a fucking asshole.
He
And
is.
to hear he went to Duke too. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
God.
it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, so I went to a Wolves game in 2014, the year they won like 14 games and the roster was awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one of the Wolves players get on the city bus to go home. And I was like, yep, this is where we're at.
Yeah. Danny Green really is.
Our players ride the bus home. LeBron gets into his Ferrari.
Yep.
Thanks for the memories.
Yep.
All right.
Danny Green really. Yeah. There's Russ right there. He's the tradable guy for the Lakers.
That's a bitchin' jacket, man.
It is. There's not a landing spot for him. The unfortunate truth that nobody wants to cop to right now is that the best place for him to fit in right now is where he's at.
Yeah.
You send him anywhere else, and he's a problem.
You would have to send him to. Let me look quick.
Can you imagine putting on that jacket though and thinking it looks good?
I would wear that.
I think that proves Gabe's point.
Yeah.
I'd wear that.
He also looks like Dr. Dre's son.
True.
Like he could be. Yeah.
Hey, can't forget about Dre.
No.
You know what's funny is, like, I would almost send him back to the Rockets.
Yeah. Houston, yeah. Rocco's on the
I
list.
don't like him.
God, he'd be great for the Wolves too.
He was already here.
Yeah, and he was great for the Wolves. I don't know why we got rid of him. He's a
of,
great 3-and-D.
oh, Eric Gordon.
Yeah, that's a name I hear.
Eric
all the
Gordon,
time.
who's looked like he's
James
40
Wiseman.
since he came
He's
in the
going to
league.
just get buried on the Golden State roster, but wind up with 2 or 3 championships. Yeah, Bovan. Bogdanovich.
That
You wanna
guy
try
just
that
looks
one?
sad.
Yeah. JaVale McGee.
Smelling turkey dinner coming out on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Karis LeVert. I'm surprised that the Cavs have anybody that they think they should trade. Because they're so well put together right now, yeah. Nikola Vucevic. Terry Rozier for Charlotte.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry. Cam Thomas for the Nets. There's another team that I don't think should be selling at all. They just need to be buying. There's another white guy, Danilo Gallinari from the Celtics. He doesn't get much playing time.
That guy's an NBA player, huh?
Correct, yep.
Huh.
Still shops at Hollister.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, man, for the NBA trade deadline, Mikey.
And that's it for the show.
Oh, is it? We're done.
I'm done. You can stay.
Nah, we're done.
Okay.
So, as always, folks, thanks for joining us on another episode of Glass Half Sports. We were glad to have you. As always, make sure you tune in next week as we'll be playoff pushing next week. Playoff pushing. There's also going to be a ring ceremony held on this show next week. Mike's going to have to present me with my back-to-back championships, likely.
I'm just a participant in the league. I don't have to present you a shit.
Matheson says otherwise.
No. We can bring Matheson's ass in here if you want a ring ceremony.
You're going to make him crutch down all those steps?
I am. It's literally his job.
But so we'll have the ring ceremony next week. NBA trade deadline will be a little bit closer.
Shout out to our Minnesota Wild representative for making it in studio today.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll get him a seat in the studio one of these days. Maybe we'll let him run the soundboard or something. So that way when you say something stupid, we go, oh, when I say something smart, yay.
So he doesn't need the soundboard then. All right. That's...
I knew it was coming. Before Mike continues to, fumigate the studio, we're going to get you guys out of here. I know there's been a lot of snow on the roads for the local people here in Minnesota, so be safe. Mike, where can they find us if they want to run it back?
Yeah, as always, guys. Let's run that back. As always, guys, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, and Twitch. We do have a Patreon. If you'd like to donate, it does go towards the show funds. It helps a lot, actually. And then if you want to watch us on cable, you can find us on MCN6 here in the Twin Cities area. Outside of the Twin Cities area, through your Roku Fire Stick, you can access the MCN6 app.
There you go.
Catch us on there.
Make sure on all those platforms, make sure you hit that notification button or bell as well.
Hit the thumbs up, too.
So that way you guys get notified every time we go live or post new content. As always, y'all, take care, stay safe, have fun.